The United Nations says the recent fighting in Iraq displaced more than 1 million people, among them a small religious community left stranded on a mountaintop in the north. The plight of the Yazidis captured the world's attention and curiosity. Who are they and why are they a target for the Islamic State militant group? Well, VOA's Ayesha Tanzeem is with me now. She recently met with Yazidis here in Washington. Ayesha, let's start with the basics. For people who have not heard of the Yazidis before, who are they, what's their religious background, and why have they been a target for the Islamic State?
Well, they're an ancient religion, thousands of years old. Some say 4,000 years, some say a little longer, a little shorter. So let's say thousands of years old. There are about 1 million Yazidis around the world, most of them living in Iraq. Estimates are that 500,000 plus live in Iraq. This is not the first time that the Yazidis have been targeted. The Islamic State targeted all minorities, including Christians and Yazidis, but these Yazidis have been targeted before. I mean, over their history, there have been dozens of efforts of ethnic genocide of the Yazidis. During Saddam's regime, there was an effort to try to convert them into Muslims and to register them as Arabs, because they seem to have a religion that's interesting, that assimilates and has elements of a lot of different religions. Their belief system has elements of Hinduism, elements of Zoroastrianism, some elements of Islam. So everybody seems to be, and particularly the Muslims in the area over the course of history, seem to be threatened by them. And so they felt discrimination and genocide, and this time was no different.
So these American Yazidis you met, they were protesting in front of the White House. What was their message?
They wanted United States to help them more. They were thanking the U.S. for what it was doing already, which was airstrikes, but what they wanted was more help, also more recognition of who the Yazidis are, because apparently nobody recognizes them, and also give them, even now, they need food, they need water, they need shelter. The situation on the mountain has improved, but thousands, in fact hundreds of thousands of them, are now simply in camps where they don't have enough of anything. So they wanted the U.S. government, and through the U.S. government, the European community and everybody else, to just recognize that they need help.
Right, and one of the Yazidis that you spoke with, he described how he had family members on top of this mountain. What are the emotions that he shared with you? How scary was that for him?
He was scared. His brother's wife, 4 kids, they were all on the mountain. He could only talk to them once in a couple of days. If the phone connection went through, only then for a couple of minutes. He said his niece, that he was very close to, was pleading to him to come help her. So he was shocked, and I kept talking to him several days after, and he kept saying, I haven't heard from my family. I don't know where they are. I don't know if they're safe. And that was even when the Yazidis started walking off the mountain. He had no idea where his family was. He was very, very scared. And I think this describes the whole of Yazidi community in the US. A lot of them didn't know exactly where their family was throughout this ordeal, and they wanted to know. They said that their families needed help.
Right. So what's the final message from this, from the Yazidi community, especially the ones here that you were able to meet with?
Well, a couple of things. A, they want that if they stay in Iraq, that their religion needs to be recognized, and that America or Europe, whoever helps the Iraqi government, also makes them realize that the Yazidis need their own villages. Their villages have been ransacked, so they need their space. They're saying we need either official recognition from the international community or help getting out of Iraq.
All right, Ayesha, thank you so much for bringing this to our attention. Ayesha Tanzeem, VOA correspondent.